United States against Sean Combs, defendant, Arms of Romani, United States District Judge. The parties have asked the court what issues they should focus on during Thursday's hearings on Combs' post-trial motions. In addition to any other issues the parties wish to bring up, the court would like the parties to address the following questions. In response to Musacchio, Blaschak, and Dennis, does the government have any Supreme Court or Second Circuit case that has deemed a defendant's Rule 29 argument waived or forfeited in circumstances such as those presented in this case? If Combs were to prevail on his construction of prostitution, then would his conviction nevertheless stand on aiding and abetting or willfully causing theory? Why or why not? Addressing the O'Brien factors. Why is the government's interest important and the Man's Act prohibitions no more than essential? What are the 1-2 best Supreme Court or Second Circuit cases supporting each side's portion on these factors? Combs argues that the record shows that every time an escort traveled across the state lines and had X, he filmed it. Is that true? If it is, does it change the First Amendment analysis? The parties will be given up to 20 minutes each to address any other issues so ordered, dated September 22nd, 2025, New York, New York. I had to start it off there to set the tone of this because some people are like, what the hell? So basically what they're saying is, what the judge is basically saying is this: hey, bro, just because the government put all those extras on it don't mean that we ain't gonna skip past the part where the law was broken. And on top of that, he's saying, hey, if y'all didn't complain about this during trial, bro, you can't come back and complain right now. So that's the Musacchio stuff that's going on as far as that goes. But bruh, man, listen, all you Diddy fans, man, y'all better prepare for a long ride because it ain't looking good according to everything that they posted. Let's get into it. This is where Diddy is going to be screwed royally, bro, because basically what they're going to say is paying people to film an X performance is protected by the First Amendment. However, he has not yet produced evidence of contracts with his performers or demonstrated compliance with strict P industry regulations. So there's an 18 U.S. Code 2257 record-keeping requirements for whoever produces any book, magazine, periodical film, videotape, digital image, digitally or computer-manipulated image of an actual human being. And as y'all can see, these are literally the rules. Like, you have rules. That's why when people say certain things, it's like your education lacks massively. But what the Diddy stuff has allowed us to do now is say, if y'all agree to certain things, like performing adult acts, bruh, you have to contract that. That's why the P industry is basically good, and it's not going to stop anything because you have to get tested. You have to do all of these things. And then it's even funnier because it's like, bruh, I don't think you cats understand. Like, none of this shit that y'all talking about is actually going to hurt or do anything as far as the way the industry is going, right? So if we look at the rules, right? We even just look at the fines. Fines up to $14,000 per violation. Industry self-regulated via groups like the Free Speech Coalition. So what it says is this: health and safety, and this is Cal, OSHA, and federal bloodborne pathogen standard. This is the standard that Diddy would have had to have had. And we can tell through testimony, none of this crap happened because Cassie said she had some STDs and STIs anyways. So it says mandatory STI testing, e.g. HIV, syphilis, every 14 to 30 days. Condom use required in California since 2013. AB 1576, unless performers opt out with testing proof. Employers must provide safe conditions in PPE. State and local rules, filming legal nationwide, but require permits in most cities. Los Angeles, some states, e.g. Florida, mandate licenses. Zoning restrict studios in their schools. So they're going to lose this. Let's go right here. Labor and contracts. Performers classified as employees or contractors. Contracts must detail consent. Pay $400 to $1,000. Shoot and writes NDAs common for privacy. So Diddy can say all of this crap, bro, but he didn't do it the legal way. So there's wage hour laws that apply. Disputes handled via labor boards. Basically saying this: if you're going to pay a male entertainer for his services, regardless of what y'all do, there has to be a rate because he's working. No matter what he's doing, it doesn't matter. Like some of y'all missed this part who are in support of Diddy, and it's like, bruh, I hear you guys, but understand, Diddy broke the law. Just what he got found guilty of. All the other crap, that don't really matter, bro. So let's just get on with it. Basically talking about the probation, right? And it says it also erodes perceived fairness of the criminal justice system. Indeed, the woman on the street would be quite taken back to learn that a person's sentence could be increased based on acquitted conduct. Yet both the probation office and government asks the court to do just that. Probation recommends guideline enhancements based on acquitted conduct in imposition of a sentence 5 times longer than the average for Mann Act defendants with similar criminal histories and justify this lengthy sentence based on supposed fraud and coercion that the jury rejected. Basically, they saying, Diddy, even if you get probation, man, you probably gonna have to have that for a very long time. So let's say, I doubt this because god damn, that's a hell of a number. But let's say it was looking like, you know what, it was gonna boil down to 18 months per, breaking down to basically 3 years worth of probation, right? So times 5 is gonna be 15. You telling me he gonna get 15 years worth of probation, man? Man, listen. Diddy, you've been in jail for a minute, homie. You damn near doing time vet right now. Hell no. Let's continue on. We're just going to read these little excerpts real quick because the whole entire thing is 153 pages, and I know for damn certain y'all don't want that. So, crossed state lines and had consensual acts with each other, and the defendant made no money from the conduct. We are unaware of any other Mann Act prosecution based on such conduct. Nevertheless, the median sentence for the Mann Act defendants sentenced under the applicable guideline 2G1, 1B1 in criminal history category is 12 months incarceration, and the average sentence is under 15 months. Even when one includes defendants who receive the coercion enhancement. Thus, probation recommends a sentence 5 times the typical sentence. The government apparently believes a sentence 20 times the typical sentence may be appropriate. The draconian approach makes Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts seem benevolent. Instead of sentence first, verdict afterwards. The government's view is verdict can be damned, lock them up and throw away the key. No, the hell y'all didn't, bro. All right, man. Let's... Cool, yeah. Fairness and justice, as well as the Constitution, federal sentencing law, and common sense require a fair lower sentence in this unique case. Mr. Combs is an extraordinary person who has made monumental professional and personal contributions throughout his 55 years to society, his family, his community, and beyond. And just as importantly, Mr. Combs has much more to give. It will not serve any of the purposes of sentencing to keep him incarcerated and away from his elderly mother and 7 children, unable to contribute meaningfully to the community as he has throughout his adult life. Although his father was murdered on the streets of Manhattan when he was just 3 years old, Mr. Combs pursued a life of hard work, love, family, and faith. I ain't gonna hold you. The hard work part, man, listen, Diddy might be the hardest working man we've ever heard because nigga, the stuff he was doing on top of the freaky stuff he was doing, I don't think anybody could ever do nothing like that. He went to Howard University, entered the world of entertainment in New York City, built extraordinary businesses, and created a new culture and image for Black Americans. You kind of gave us a black eye, though, but it is what it is, which had a lasting impact on music, fashion, and other industries throughout the world. Along the way, he empowered and inspired generations. At the same time, he nourished a growing family and community, becoming a father and a father figure to those that needed him, pardon me. He dedicated substantial energy, resources, and passion to charitable work and made personal sacrifices for others so they too could thrive. It was not easy, and Mr. Combs overcame substantial obstacles. He lost many loved ones, including his father, his best friend, Christopher Wallace, professionally known as Notorious B.I.G., as well as the love of his life and mother of 4 of his children, Kim Porter, and most recently, his mentor, Andre Harrell. These events were devastating, and for decades, Mr. Combs struggled with serious substance abuse issues, anger and anxiety, and other flaws that he did not properly and professionally address until his incarceration last year. In that respect, Mr. Combs' near 13 months in prison has been life-changing, productive, and a testament to his desire to return to his family and community and lead his best life possible, or lead the best life possible. I just like to say, he living his best life. He has taken the time to achieve necessary rehabilitation from day one at the MDC, including getting clean off of all substances. And while he and his doctors have worked productively with all available therapeutic tools at the MDC and made significant progress, his doctors all agree that the next step in Mr. Combs' treatment to ensure the changes he has made last a lifetime requires therapy that can only effectively be provided outside of prison walls. Mr. Combs has several children, 4 by now deceased by Kim Porter, who desperately await his return to their lives. Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, twins Delilah and Jesse, and 2-year-old daughter Love. His 84-year-old mother, Janice Combs, who has had brain surgery and was hospitalized for heart concerns right before his arrest, also needs him. As she writes to this court, she depends on Sean for emotional support. He always looked after my health and well-being. I don't know how much longer I will be around, but I would love to be able to see him and his children together again. Letter of Janice Combs at 1 through 2. The court has a difficult task when fashioning any sentence, but here the right answer could not be more obvious. In the past 2 years, Mr. Combs' career and reputation have been destroyed. He has served over a year in one of the most notorious jails in America, yet has made the most of that punishment. It is time for Mr. Combs to go home to his family so he can continue his treatment and try to make the most of the next chapter of his extraordinary life. A sentence no greater than 14 months is plainly sufficient, but not greater than necessary to accomplish the purpose, of sentencing articulated in 18 U.S.C. 3553A. It is the only just and fair sentence that could be imposed. Now that y'all seen that, let's get into some court specificity, the letters, and what the freaking defense has put up, and then what the government has put up, because boy, they are in a battle. Let's get ready to rumble. Roll it. This is a price you have to pay if you're blessed with success. This is something I never knew or accepted. Success has a steep price, and that price is responsibility. Responsibility is a scary word. Most humans dread responsibility. I know I did. I really thought success and money gave me freedom to do whatever I wanted to do with no real consequences. I had to learn the hard way. It's unfortunate that it took me being incarcerated to learn this valuable lesson. I have to admit that I have been irresponsible with the life God blessed me with. I have been irresponsible with the gifts that God blessed me with. I ran with the responsibility. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I used to call myself a king, but I didn't act like a king. I didn't act like a man. If you don't pay the price, you'll eventually fail. I have learned that everything I say and everything I do matters. It all matters. I have a responsibility for it all. With responsibility comes sacrifice. In the future, I will sacrifice what I want to do for what is best for all. Not just me. I will be selfless instead of selfish. Selfishness is a disease. Selflessness is a gift. This situation has made me become a man that knows and understands his responsibilities, a man that is ready to sacrifice and do what is right over my selfish desires, a man that is ready to pay the price. I am accountable. I am responsible. Now, as a person who seen a lot of ChatGPT work, this right here is definitely ChatGPT. Y'all think she know how to use these lines, but let's just read this. I ain't gonna read no more, but it's pretty effing hilarious. But she tried. I'll give her an A for effort. It says, "Dear Your Honor, my name is Carisha Brown Lee. I am a mother, daughter, sister, and a hip hop artist who has spent many years in the public eye. I want to be clear that I cannot speak on or defend anything that may have happened before I met Sean Combs. I do not condone any wrongdoing. I can only speak from my personal experience and the man I've come to know over the past 4 years. For 3 of those years, I was in a public relationship with Sean, and during that time, I witnessed and came to know a different person than the one often portrayed. Behind the scenes, he was a loving, genuine, supportive, and always encouraging." What? Behind the scenes, he was loving, genuine, supportive, and always encouraging. He motivated me, believed in me, and helped me grow both personally and professionally. I'm writing this letter because I believe it's important for the court to know the side of Sean that isn't always seen or spoken about. The man who poured into others, who gave opportunities, who led by example, who loved deeply. He helped shape me both professionally and personally. He believed in me, pushed me to grow, and taught me how to be a better businesswoman. He helped me find balance between chasing my dreams and being present for my family, because that's what he did. No matter how busy he was, he never missed holidays or special moments with his family, because they were filming those Diddy parties at times when he wasn't there. The freak-offs was crazy. Peed on me. One of my most meaningful memories was when he took me to my first Met Gala. You gotta be shitting me. It wasn't just about the event. It was about what it represented. Sean has always made it a priority to open doors for Black people, to make sure we are seen, heard, and valued in spaces where we've historically been excluded. That night reminded me that we belong in every room, at every table, in every conversation. He consistently encouraged me and so many others to dream bigger, walk in confidence, and never shrink who we are to make others comfortable. He also gave me a voice by providing me a platform on his network to speak for the culture and connect with people in a way that was real and authentic. Like this damn thing that you wrote, right? Okay, all right. I'm sorry, man. This is terrible. The opportunity changed the direction of my career and showed me the impact one person can have when they choose to uplift others. Beyond all that, I seen him give back to his community over and over again. In 2022, we fed the homeless together on Thanksgiving. But that was just one example. There were so many moments where he gave quietly, privately, without cameras because his heart genuinely wanted to help. I've also witnessed him doing real inner work. He made the choice to check himself into anger management, start therapy, and commit to physical healing through therapy. That takes strength, humility, and self-awareness. He didn't do it for the show, or for show, pardon me. He did it because he wanted to grow and become a better person. In my personal experience, Sean is not a danger or a threat to the community unless he's blowing up cars for Kid Cudi, punching on women, putting them through doors, and fighting women and grabbing them by the hair, giving them pink Molly and baby oil parties, chasing a woman through a hallway, and paying somebody off to get rid of the footage, which eventually came out on CNN. He is a man of God, someone who uplifts, supports, and inspires those around him to be better mentally, physically, and spiritually. But more than anything, he's a father, and his kids are the ones who look up to him the most. They need him. His presence, love, and guidance matter deeply in their lives. I truly believe that he belongs at home with his family, the people who mean the most to him, and continue to be his greatest source of purpose and strength. Judge, that's a good man. Thank you, Carisha Brownlee. I got a question for you. Where did he go to do this therapy? Like, what's the address? Just curious. What's the place name? City, state, month, year? Because the judge is going to want to know these things. So you probably should have included that. But hey, U.S. versus Combs, when you're looking at these right here, none of these cases involve defendants convicted solely under 18 U.S.C. 2421A and sentenced under 2G1A2 in criminal history category, nor in any of these cases did a jury acquit the defendant of offenses involving allegations of force, fraud, or coercion as occurred here. So they're suggesting 5 times the norm for probation. And I ain't gonna hold you. I think if he does get probation, if they give him probation, it's going to be lengthy. And the government may capitulate to that. The judge may see that as fair. I don't believe in October that man walks out of that courtroom, but I could be wrong. And I hope I'm wrong. I don't believe that Diddy should even be in jail for none of this shit. I'm just going to be personally honest. Yeah, he's a scum of the earth, piece of shit ass dude. But when y'all jump into bed with people like this and y'all say, yeah, I'm good with doing that. Once you say you don't want to do it no more, leave. Get the hell up out of there. Now, some of y'all will say this, and I can completely understand. Well, Nash, man, they tried to leave. He wouldn't let them leave. I never seen one point in time where they basically said that he couldn't. The worst that he did was that hallway video or charging Cassie's family 20 bands basically to give back. That's it. So at the end of the day, I think this shit should have been handled civilly. I don't think he deserved or deserves prison time and jail time for this stuff. I just don't. I think him being in there is enough. But here's the problem that I'm seeing within all of these letters. There's nothing for the victims. Now, no lawyer is going to want him to say, hey, mention these people names and all this crap and certain details and all this crap. But what he was already found guilty on, bruh, the judge is not finna reverse this shit. He's just not. So maybe there's a way. I don't know. I ain't never been in no federal stuff. I just got threatened by the feds. But maybe after the judge denies the new trial and retrial and all this BS and all that, because he's not going, like, there are so many people who are wishing upon a star and it's just not going to fall for him. But as far as Diddy goes with this shit, man, listen, it's not going to happen for him. It's just not. It's not. It's just not, bruh. So what can we expect? What should we expect? Should we expect anything? Should Diddy be let go? Should Diddy be free? Yeah, but no, because there's no acknowledgement from him at all. Part of what you had to do in your contrition and taking your responsibility is saying this to the two women that are involved, Jane and Cassie, 50 Cent baby mama, you nasty little thing. From what we've heard in your testimony, I'm sorry that y'all were in these positions. Something. There's nothing. He could have just said, I apologize to everyone who feels that I did them bad, but then it's kind of like, nah. So he could have just said, I apologize to everybody that I've wronged. That's blanket enough. He didn't do any of that shit. So you really didn't change. I don't believe this nigga changed for shit. Y'all can believe whatever you want, man. A person like that who's been in power and then say certain things, the dumbest thing you could have did was just make it pure black. Motherfucker, the damn judge is an Indian. You should probably mention that. Imagine if a white dude came up and was like, yeah, man, I went to go work at this black company, this all black establishment. Imagine if a white dude was in Africa. Pardon me. Let's do it this way. Imagine if a white dude was in like one of the blackest parts of Africa, Botswana, right? And he was in Botswana, and then he was a quote unquote pioneer musically, culturally, as far as fashion and all this shit, right? And he turns around and says, yeah, man, I've done so much to help white people get established here, and the judge is Chinese. You probably should say, and judge, I help Chinese individuals as well as not only just white people. That's what you're supposed to say, bruh. There has to be a level of personality and some type of image that I'm not only helping my people out, I'm helping you out as well. Not doing it. And some of y'all will get on here and be like, nah, man, he can't do that. Let me ask you this one simple question. What part of any of that shit that y'all seen from his lawyers or that you seen from him that makes you say that he changed? Give me one thing, because I can refute that immediately. The night the dude got arrested with all the damn drugs. You're telling me that he said he's ready to accept responsibility by doing all this shit. Are you serious? All right. But just because I don't believe him, it does not mean I don't think that he doesn't deserve to be out. He definitely does. And them people knew what the hell they signed up for. I'm not about to play the sympathy, empathy, any type of card with Cassie or Jane, because at the end of the day, Cassie, you turned your ass into a monster too. We heard you threatening people. Jane sat up there and 50 baby mama sat up there and got mad at Diddy. You been knew who he was. Then you gonna punch this man. Like, man, I tell you fellas though, don't put y'all, you cannot fight back. It don't matter what the hell go on. It don't matter what she do. Unless she got a weapon and she damn near gotta slash you. Like, you have to take a... Anyways, yeah, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Expect nothing to happen except for the judge to just basically say, yeah, let's get ready for this sentencing phase. Y'all send me some shit. I'm going to take some shit and we going to get to this shit at the end. And that's going to be that, bro. I expect Diddy to get 3 years. That's me. I'm banking on 3 years, 18 months per charge. That's what I'm banking on. And then he'll get out and then he'll be better for it. But all that other crap, bro, hell nah. And expect him to get cryptic once he gets sentenced. Like, if he gets free, expect that man to get cryptic. But I think the judge is going to place so many restrictions on him if he does get probation about what he can say, what he can't say, what he can do, what he can't do, who he can react to, where he can go, what he can go on, his interviews and what he can speak on, what he can't speak on, because at that current moment, you are the property of the United States of America, the federal part. So it is what it is, man. But maybe y'all feel different. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Now that y'all seen that, let's get into some court specificity, the letters, and what the freaking defense has put up, and then what the government has put up, because, boy, they are in a battle. Let's get ready to rumble Roll it.